And we're back. Today we continue on in the Silver Lantern archives to continue the Divine Larceny. A Divine Larceny. I don't think it has a thing ahead of it. Either way, we're going to be continuing on today to see exactly what kind of trouble our party gets into today. But before we know where they're going, we need to know where they were. Radicus, you're on the ball for today. What's been happening? Give me the lowdown.
So we escaped one pocket dimension, made it into the reality that we all know and possibly love, and that brought us back to Waters Deep. And after some catching our bearings and seeing what's going on, has had the great idea of getting the hell out of town because we were marked with a distinct magic that definitely set off some alarms throughout the city. So we started running and barely made it to the outskirts of town with the help of some unknown shopkeep. Got into a secret tunnel and got through a secret door in that secret tunnel to make it to the outside of town. After that, the group split apart from Hessler and Radicus so that Hessler could get his mule, or is it a donkey? Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Mule.
Mule. Okay, it was a mule, and so we got to the stables in the middle of the night. The horns had been blasted, so we had to make sure that we were safe from capture or identification. Unfortunately, after getting the mule, Hessler and Radicus had to put on the act of a century of being a reformed drug addict, which Radicus definitely is not, and a very hunched over old man, which Hessler also is not, but had the back for it and the exhaustion. So we convinced the guard so well that he wanted to escort us out of the town into the countryside to get back to a little boy and some sickly parents. So with no other way to get out of it, we just started walking, and thankfully Cass had an idea that we would get into trouble, so tried to intercept us on the way to getting our lie caught. Successfully, we were able to get back with the group and ran for another 2 to 3 days until we finally made it to a house befitting a lord, and found out that Cass accidentally became the lady of that estate, and gave us safe haven. After washing up for the first time in days and or years, we were able to walk around the premises and have some downtime and get to kind of decompress a little bit. And now we are all gathered in the dining hall after so that we can kind of regroup after the debacle that we found ourselves in.
Thank you for the recap. It has been a little while since the toast Cassandra made, and she has retired back into the library along with Alistair to leave y'all to y'all's devices. Eric has wandered off into the area, and Talia is in the courtyard training. Noir, however, is still in the room with y'all playing music.
Ooh. I love a tune.
Well, Essler has gone immediately back to work with the artifacts this time.
Seeing Hessler is going to start identifying stuff, Tulia will come over to help him out.
Fair. And what of Radicus, Miss E, and Psy?
I think if there's a bottle of wine that's been left around, I might try to snag that and maybe fill up another glass.
Yeah, they left the wine with you.
Nice.
That is nice. So, are you much of a drinker?
Admittedly, not too much, but I will have some alcohol every now and again, yes.
Okay.
But, I'll stay and have a glass with you if that's what you want. Otherwise, I was gonna take a look around the estate. I mean, it did seem quite large from the outside, and figure at least getting some bearings around here wouldn't hurt.
Mhm. What about you, Missy?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have some other things on my mind. I want to maybe just touch base with Cass real quick first before joining anything.
Yes, I have a question or two for Cass as well, but I'll leave that for later.
Well, go for it then. I'll take a seat just down next to Cass and not Cass, sorry, next to Sai, and just push the bottle over and uh, not really one for these types of condolences, but I am sorry that you got separated from the rest of your group. Why were you there?
Well, I suppose to make it a little bit briefer story. Uh, Basically speaking, I left our home monastery in Limbo, traveled to the Astral Sea to go train with the elves as well. And well, some of them were accompanying me back to Limbo when somehow the strange portal suddenly swallowed us up. We wound up in that strange place, and as we were looking for a way out, that abomination ambushed us, and well, unfortunately, as you know, I was the only one to barely get away. They were my friends, but I mean, we are all accustomed to loss, and we grieve in our own ways. I will grieve them fully properly later, but for the moment, I think it's time to consolidate my thoughts and focus on exactly what we're going to do about our new benefactor situation. Getting unceremoniously thrust into a position where we have to find magical artifacts to stop some crazy god from destroying the world isn't exactly, how should I say this? Comforting. Yes, comforting works. I mean, I don't have really much to say about that other than this is crazy, and we're all probably fools for doing this, but I mean, you were there. We didn't exactly have much of a choice, so I suppose the only thing we can do now is push forward and try to find these keys, artifacts, whatever they are. So that's one of the questions I have for Cass later, but I'll let Missy and her have their own conversation for the moment.
Fair enough. And I mean, I guess if you're so deep in thought there, I guess I can take the whole wine bottle for myself. That's not not conducive for that, I would say. I'll half seriously pull the wine bottle away from her.
I mean, Sai will just kind of like use their psionic mage hand and just kind of grabs the bottle, pours himself half a glass, and then moves it back over to you.
Good call. I'll keep pace with that as well. Been forever since I've been on any type of sea, but I don't know. I've never been to an astral one. I think I'm done with that for a while. Hopefully, none of our adventures take us there.
Well, if they do, thankfully I know a couple of guides that can get us around.
Better you than me. Well,
I just kind of shrugs.
well, I guess we're more so fools if we keep on stopping. I think that we're doing the right thing, just trying to keep ourselves alive at this point. So, I'll stay by your side as long as that's the case. Just raise up a glass for cheers and
Sai will tilt their glass at you.
very well. Redicus is just kind of gonna start staring off into space or check out what Tulier and Hessler are doing on the other side of the room.
You can see they have papers and items spread out before them, making notes and looking over in great detail on each of the items y'all recovered from the tomb.
Mhm.
Is there anything else the four of y'all would like to do?
Seeing as how we're going through over all the stuff that we brought back from the tomb, Tulio is going to cast. Let's see here. Detect magic to see exactly what here has magic in it.
You discover that you are getting magic from. Stop being slow, please. The amulet, the tankard, the 3 potion vials, the set of scrolls, the wand, and the gloves.
Amulet, tankard, vials, wand, and glove. All right, that's what you said?
Yep.
And scrolls, of course.
Yep.
All right. So that's what. So that's what we'll focus on figuring out what they are.
It'll take y'all a while, but y'all are pretty sure you can figure them out. Is there anything else the party is up to while that's going on, or should we hop over to Missy?
All good.
What he's doing.
Missy, as you walk into the room, you see Alistair standing in the corner next to the doorway, his hands clasped before him, as Cassandra has piles upon piles of books all around her, and she is currently writing. She does not seem to have noticed you.
I'm just gonna go right up to her and say, like, there you are, Cass. You're always between books or writing or something. What are you working on?
Somewhere in our past, there is a link to this key. If I don't find it, the world ends. So yes, I am between books.
I mean, can I help you? Is there anything I can do?
You've never really been one for study, my dear. I've
I
always been
know.
willing to have the assistance, but I don't know how much it would help. Getting your mind in the game is probably the best thing you can do.
Did you finish reading?
Yes.
And do you hate me?
No. I think you've very much been led on the wrong path, but in the end, it doesn't matter anymore. The only thing that matters is finding how to save the world. Because if we don't, we're all dead.
I know. I know the stakes are really high right now, but I've also, I don't know, like, everything going on between us, and I'm not the best at explaining how I feel and talking about the past and all of that, but I did write you a song that I can't get out of my head, that I hope you'll give me the opportunity to sing to you one day.
Perhaps. But right now, the most important thing is finding our first lead. If we can't find the star, we're done.
I hate to say it, but I don't even remember the name of the town I was born in. I don't know how anything is connected. Everything was destroyed.
There's a lot that we're blocking out, but we're going to need to find it. I'm hoping that it was something later, something that one of us ran into. With your journal, I can look through your past and see if I can find anything. And I remember much of mine. See for the early days.
I just wish there was more I could do. I wish I could be of more service. But
Service.
yeah.
I think that's the last thing you need to be right now. Right now, the best thing you can do is be you. And perhaps not the one that kills people.
Yeah. I'm still getting the hang of the whole be me thing. But I appreciate the encouragement.
Lean on the others. They'll help you stabilize. Hessler and Tulio are good boys. They're a little eccentric, but they're good
They
people.
seem quite capable and strong, and I'm just glad, I don't know, I'm not as alone as I was. So, I'm glad I found you.
You won't be alone at least until the end of all this. I can guarantee that.
As long as we stay alive.
I get the distinct feeling you won't be doing that alone either, if you do.
Yeah. I don't want to think about that.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna get a drink. Do you want anything while you're studying? I can bring you a glass of wine if you want.
That's alright. Best to keep my mind clear. I've already had enough.
Well, if you need anything, I'm sure you can find me.
I'll send Alistair to find you if I do. He's surprisingly good at finding people.
Well, that's a talent that can be quite useful.
Yes, that's why he ended up the head of the house. Well, the head butler of the house, anyway.
Well,
Steward.
it's good
is
to
the word
meet
I'm
you.
looking for. Steward.
Steward, okay. Well, as I start heading out, I'll just say, good to meet you, Alistair.
Nods, but remains silent.
Hmm.
He also hands you a mug of water.
Oh,
Best
what
to
am I
be
gonna do with
keeping
this?
hydrated if you're going to be drinking as much as it smells like you're going to.
Alright, fine. I'll take it with me.
But you end up back in the hall, alone, watching the setting sun dip through the windows. Everything that's been going on of late is starting to catch up with you. All the fighting, the near death, allying yourself with people that would try to kill you, the cold responses to Cassandra, the oddities that are Hessler, Tulio, and Sai, and having to band together with Radicus, who's been closer and more comforting than you would have imagined in most recent hours.
This is a lot. I'm gonna rejoin. So, Hessler, Tulio,
Yes.
have you found
Oh.
anything?
A few interesting things. Not solid what everything does yet, but we got some magical stuff.
Ooh, magic. Do you know what has magic in it?
Yes, I figured it out. It is the amulet, the tankard, these potions, obviously, the spell scrolls, of course. Oh, the wand and the gloves.
Ooh, I wonder what they can do. That's so fun. I'm so glad you guys can figure that out. I want to know tails from heads looking at this. In my eyes, junk.
One man's junk is another man's treasure, and one man's treasure usually belongs in a museum or a collection.
You're so true. I've heard that before. It's just this isn't my typical treasure, but magic. I mean, I would never know those things. Just goes to show how much I could have been passing up through the years just because I'm kind of blind.
Remember, there was other treasure that you recovered that's more normal treasure. You have coins and you have gemstones.
Oh, yeah. But they're not looking at those, right?
I mean, they're on the
They've
table.
been sorted to the side at this point.
Oh,
Just
okay.
Yeah.
they're organized, but not really accounted for.
At some point, Tulio will go over everything, like with his merchant's eye, to see what he can, maybe he can sell stuff for more than it's actually worth.
Yeah. While you're up, could you grab one of the wine bottles before those two finish them all off? It was a very nice red they had.
Yeah. No problem.
Coming right at you. I'll take the half-empty bottle of wine and toss it across the room to Hessler.
As soon as you go to throw it, you feel it lift out of your hand. I would refrain from throwing wine bottles.
It would have been a good one.
Yes, well, please refrain in future. As he
How
walks
did you get
across
your-
the room and sets it down.
Thank you.
Where did you come from?
The door. If you'll excuse me, Missy. As he steps yet again back through the door.
Is there a tavern here?
I mean, I don't think we can go to one, at least not in this town. We would be busted.
I can't believe I'm saying I miss the city.
I mean, do you miss the city or do you miss the comfort of your holes under the city? Let's be real.
I need a good time. The sewers are not a good time.
I mean, I think I'm an excellent time, but what would you know about that?
Thanks, not interested. I'd like to keep what I have in my pants inside of my pants.
Smart choice.
Might
Presumably
not see
still
it
attached.
again. What's that, Tulio?
And presumably still attached.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You feel something move next to you. It's the girl again. Do you have a banana? You hear for Radicus as she's speaking to him.
No, they don't have fresh fruit down in the sewers.
Oh. My granny always said that it was the bananas they were trying to steal when they were red.
I think you're mistaken. I do have some worms that tried to start a coup d'etat last time, a revolution of sorts in my pants. She was talking about those ones, and I rummage around just inside of my waist, and I pick out a worm that somehow made it for the past couple of days. This guy.
Oh. I would see why you'd want to protect them from the purple lady.
Right you are.
You're really dark. Did you get burned?
Several times throughout my life.
Oh, I'm sorry. And you see she starts rifling through a little pouch on her belt.
What do you got there?
Something that can happen. As she takes out a band-aid or not a band-aid, a wrap, and starts to wrap your arm.
Radicus has never been around this much cuteness and has no idea what to do.
The wrap is bright pink and has little kittens on it.
I'm keeping this and cherishing it forever.
You'll need to change it out after a while, after it gets dirty. But if you come back, I can always rewrap it. I don't have enough to wrap all of you, though.
Oh, sweet child. Isn't it bedtime? You should. Okay.
What time is it?
Sundown's coming.
Oh, okay. Sundown.
But
So, Sai, how are you, well, I should actually walk a little closer, but how are you feeling? You know, I know it's a lot to take in, being in a pocket dimension for a long time, and now you're with a whole bunch of strangers, and even I'm coping with some of it. How are you doing?
Oh, I mean, all things considered, actually pretty well. As I was telling Radicus, it was unfortunate that I lost my traveling companions back there to that abomination, but my kind are not, trying to find the word here. Basically speaking, we're used to it. I mean, if you know anything about our kind, I mean, the Githzerai and the Githyanki don't exactly have the best of relations, so we're used to being at constant vigilance and losing someone in battle. It's unfortunately just almost a way of life for us at this point, but so soldier on, as they say, and I mean, eventually I will hopefully find the rest of the elves that we departed from, and I can relay the unfortunate news of their companion's demise to the rest of them, but for the time being, unfortunately, we do have more pressing matters, seeing as how we are on the, well, what, 10-year time clock is what I think we are given.
Oh.
Sorry.
You're okay. Yeah, I mean, what is the threat of death? You know? Like, I lived with that threat for a while. It's so what? It's all about just living your life to the fullest you can in the moment as we try to prolong, you know, the world. Because certainly don't want it to end this soon.
I mean, yes, having a world would be nice to have. I mean, admittedly, I don't exactly hail from here, I hail from somewhere else, but keeping planes safe and intact is generally a good trait to have, yes?
So, are you gonna leave? Like, after all this is over and go back to wherever you came from?
I suppose it all boils down to what happens. I mean, it would be nice to get home to Limbo, yes. But if my calling, as they say, leads me to stay here for a bit longer after we're done finding these artifacts, then that's what happens. At this point, I'm practically living my life one day at a time, I suppose.
I mean, it's all we can do in these circumstances.
Indeed.
But Cass is free if you wanted to ask her anything or talk to her. She is pretty focused, but I'm sure she'd still talk to you.
I don't have many questions for her, so I'm sure she hopefully won't mind entertaining me at least for a few minutes. So, I mean, if the rest of you will excuse me, I do have some things to go bring up with her. And by the way, which way is she?
the library, so across the hall, straight, and then I think it's like the first door on your left.
Ah, thank you. And Sai will depart the dining hall and make their way over to the library. I'll obviously stop at the door and give a nice little tap on the door before
Alistair
entering.
opens the door for you.
Ah, thank you.
You see Cassandra is still surrounded by books and whatnot. Very similar to how it was when you walked through earlier.
Oh, Miss Cassandra. Hello. Uh, First, just a few things. First of all, I'd like to thank you for welcoming us into your grand estate, and I do mean grand. This place could practically rival some of the small monasteries back where I'm from. So to be well, I shouldn't say single-handedly running the place, but single-handedly owning the place is very impressive.
Why,
But
according to that, I own all the land around here too.
and how much land is that by chance?
Fair bet.
That's quite impressive. Congratulations, I guess.
I ended up the lady of this land.
So you said that you won a duel and then inherited the place legally, of course, as you did state. I mean, no small feat, I imagine. Um,
Yes.
but I'll just get to the point. Um, so just a couple things. So one, our strange benefactor said that we should be checking. You and Missy might have some leads potentially of where we go first. And second point of the matter, what's your young servant girl's name? By chance?
Oh, you mean Everest?
Everest, is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Everest. Uh, she, quite fascinating little girl, quite astute. She also mentioned that apparently there's some Yankee nearby. You wouldn't happen to know anything about them, would you?
Not in this area, no. We've met a few in the past. At least according to the records. But not in any reasonable time.
Ah, well, that does make me feel better then, to know that others were out there and so close to potentially finding me would be a bit of a problem if they were to find out that the Gizrai was here. We don't exactly have the best of relations with our other brethren, the Githyanki, so they I'd just be worried for our safety if they knew that I was here. But if, and as you say, they have not been seen in a while, then uh, I guess your estate is quite safe at the moment.
Well, that's the intention. Trying to keep things as stable as we can.
So, how goes the research? Seem to have a great deal of books spread about.
There's a lot we need to look into. But as for what
Would
it
you
actually is, I don't know yet.
like some assistance? I don't mind burying myself in a good book.
I think for now it may be best for me to go it alone, as I know much of the past and a good idea of what Miss E's dealt with. If I start finding information, I can call on you and Hester.
Fair enough. Uh, and of course, if you ever need any help around the estate, don't fear to ask. Especially out in the stables, I'm decent with animals, as you've seen, given the fact that I can transform into one.
Yes, you and
Yeah.
Talia are similar in that regard.
Yes, I did notice that she could turn into a bear. Is she by chance also of the druidic kind?
She is, though she doesn't belong to a circle as far as I know.
Ah, interesting. Well, at least I'll have something in common with her to, break the ice, as they say. That is what they say, right?
It depends on where you are, but it's close enough.
Fair enough. Well, apologies again for disturbing you, and I guess I shall leave you to your research. And I'll nod to Alistair. Hello. Let's just head back out to the main hallway and not sure where to go from there. Maybe I'll go for a walk. I think I'll go for a walk.
You see a familiar looking face sweeping the floor down south. She gives you a wave.
Hello, Everest.
Hello. What are you doing out here?
I'm just merely gonna go for a walk about the grounds.
Oh,
If
you want me
anyone's
to
asking
come
you
with
for,
you?
if
You see her
want
eyes twinkle a little bit. Okay.
I won't stop you,
She
child.
rushes over and takes your hand.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just take a stroll around the gardens then. And we'll leave it at that for the moment if anyone else has something you want to do.
There. Missy, Raticus, Tulio, Leslie.
Yes.
I want to go outside and check out this fountain. I don't know how to get out.
Tulio
The
standing
door
over
right behind Tully and I.
Oh. Excuse me. Can I go outside real quick?
Of course, of course.
I wish I could help you guys, but I'm kind of useless.
Yeah, you could always stack coins if you really wanted, but it's a boring task.
I mean, I wouldn't trust me stacking coins. I know myself.
You can trust me. I'll stack some coins.
Oh no, I have a method for that.
I'm sure. How long would it take for you guys to sort through all of this and sell it off?
Sorting through is quick. The problem is selling. Now that we're kind of possibly wanted, it's going to be extremely difficult.
I think that I might be of service in that. I know somebody that'll take anything, no questions asked.
Wasn't the problem there in the city, though?
I mean, under the city, but I guess you have a point.
Yeah. I think we're going to be holding on to this for a bit until we hit a different city. Maybe if we're going the right direction, we could stop at Boulder's Gate, or... Who knows? Matters where we're going next.
Well, I think Missy holds that secret, but she's already walked away.
We'll get to it sooner or later, and we'll find somewhere to sell it.
Wherever you go, I'll head over to the Merchants Guild and get proper pricing for everything.
You hear Alistair's voice as he is standing next to the door once again. If you're looking to sell things, you'll need to talk to Lucian Greentide in the city. He's most likely staying at Willow Hall.
Is general goods, or the artifacts, or the gems is the question, or is it everything?
Any of them. He is a merchant that moves almost anything he can. Though, based on what Miss Lady Cassandra has said, I would advise laying low for a few days.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
There is a nod as he once again heads back through the door. As once again, Radicus, you did not hear him coming. You didn't
I'm
notice
noticing
until he
that.
spoke.
Yep. And I don't like it.
Good there, Radicus. You're looking a bit pale.
Yes, sort of perturbed.
I really don't like when people sneak up on me.
You'll see him
And
trying to
he's-
do it when. Oh, sorry.
And he's done it 3 times already.
And he's a master servant of this manor. They're probably used to getting through the doors quietly and not stepping on the squeaky stairs.
Feel like I'm off my game.
10 minutes. How long has it been since I cast Detect Magic?
About half an hour.
Oh. But did the guy show up while I had Detect Magic running?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
Because the detect magic was mostly up while Miss E was away. By the time Miss E had come back, it had gone down again. And that's when he appeared the first time.
Alright. I was just wondering because maybe like I detected something like when he shows up.
But, Miss E, you walk out into a beautiful flowering courtyard. White lilies and flowers decorating the edges, mixed with a strange menagerie of different beautiful flowers.
Aw. I'm gonna like smell the flowers real quick.
They are a lovely, exotic scent. There's something else that catches your attention. 2 things, actually. The first is Talia off on the side practicing with her sword, doing sword forms, and the other is the fountain itself. It is a 3-tiered statue, very wide at the base, but it goes up 2 platforms, and on the top you see 2 children sitting back to back. One of them looking down, reading a book, the other reaching out towards a butterfly that is on their finger.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Oh, and they're both tieflings.
Uh-huh. That got so deep. Um, see is gonna see the statue and then start getting real depressed in a sense. Like start looking down and like kind of like putting her finger in the water and just sing to herself to soothe herself.
Fair.
Yeah.
Can I get a performance check?
Performance. Hold on. Ba, 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 ba.
What the hell, screen? Get back on.
Professor Tulio, you hear very shaky singing drifting in through the door behind you.
Is it
Can
a
I-
glass door or?
No, it's a beautiful wood.
Is it like?
Um,
Is it like
I could-
actual? Oh, sorry.
I can do it. You're just gonna hear this. You're gonna hear, oh, oh, past. The distance between us is no longer vast. But where do we go from here? When I wanna hold you dear, but your eyes show me signs of fear. Oh, Cass, can you please guide me on a new path? One with you, one without my brutal past. One with you not pulling away when our tails clasp. One with you and I together long at last. Oh, Cass. That's what you hear.
Brava, brava.
He's a mess.
Tulio's gonna poke his head through the door. Missy, are you okay?
Yeah. And I'm like wiping my tears. Yeah. I'm okay. I'm fine.
Tulio's not the right person to deal with emotion.
Radicus, you can now hear the end of what's going on.
Is that crying I hear? What the
Yeah.
hell's going on?
It would seem Miss E is leaking quite a lot of fluid from her eyes.
Well, I'm sure you know that that's as dire as anything can be, especially coming from you.
Well,
You don't know how to deal with it, do you?
I don't have much experience dealing with something like this.
Me neither. I'm going out there. I'll just pass through and...
Radicus proves himself the braver between him and Tulio. Take a hero point, Radicus.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna look at the look at the fountain.
You see the two young tiefling girls, one reading a book, the other reaching out to a butterfly. And from where you're seeing, you actually see that there is a little plaque.
I'm gonna read it.
Lost but not forgotten. Ass and Moon.
Hey, Missy, come over here.
What?
While you're hiding in a corner crying into a bunch of flowers, I don't think that's a place you want to stay, is it?
I guess not.
Do these two remind you of something?
Seriously, why do you think I'm a mess, Radicus?
I'm not really one for digging into your past, but I think that you should read this. And I point down to the plaque.
I
Your name was
try to
Mooney?
read it.
You can see it is a simple bronze plaque with the words engraved into it. On either side, slopped flower decor marking the edges.
I
Your
mean,
name was Mooney?
at one point, I mean, that wasn't my name, but that's what Kaz called me. It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. I'm not sure if that's me anymore. I don't know how much of whoever that is still left. So I don't really call myself that right now.
Do you think that Cass needs some time to accept that Mooney's dead?
I don't know if Mooney's dead. Ever since I saw her, I've I, I felt different. Like I've felt things I haven't felt since. I mean, that day. I don't know.
I'm not going to be one for digging into your past. I know we all have some darker things going on, but I think that Bess just needs a little bit more time to grieve, but I think she'll be back around.
I don't know.
At that point,
I don't know.
Atticus, you see something move out of the corner of your eye. You turn to look.
Oh, sorry. I whip around and it's like, it's you again, isn't it, Alistair?
You see a group of about 10 butterflies fluttering into the garden to land on different flowers. They're of many different colors, but there is one that catches your eye. A beautiful blue one that's a bit larger than the others. And unlike the others, it doesn't make for the flowers. Instead, it lands up on one of Miss E's horns, which she doesn't feel because horns are just bone.
I don't move. I'm sorry you can't look up, but I think something's saying hi to you.
What? What? It's not a spider. Please don't be a spider, right?
No, just look at the statue.
Okay. I'm looking at it, and I see all these butterflies, and they're beautiful.
Well,
But what does that mean?
the blue one chose you.
What do
I
you
don't
mean
know.
the blue one shows me?
Just saying what I'm seeing, but I think there's some comfort in that. I'll just put a hand on Missy's back and pat it and take my moment to leave and kind of start walking past Talia.
Julia, are you still just in the door watching all this? The nosy jello over in the corner?
Actually, you know what? Yes, because I'm interested to see this dynamic. You know, Tulio has never been like very emotionally. What's the word I'm looking for?
There.
Adept.
Adept. Yes, thank you. So, but he's always willing to learn.
Essler fucking Julio is Scooby Dooing next to you.
I look at the two adventurers and I just kind of give them a like, just kind of not like an icy glare, but it's just like, you know what you didn't do. I didn't know what I was
Esther's
doing, but I
not paying
did it.
attention to this whatsoever. So.
Yeah, Tulio's the only one who sees it, and Tulio looks at you confused, like, and he gives you like a little wave.
I wave back and just like turn around and start walking. It's gonna be okay, Missy. I mean Mooney.
Hey!
I mean Missy. Is it?
God damn it.
What do I call you?
You call me Missy, please. Right now, Cass is the only one who can call me that.
Okay.
Missy,
But-
while you're doing that, you kind of move a little bit and you feel something lift off your horn. And you look back over to see the butterfly right in front of you.
Oh my gosh, is this what you were talking about, Bradicus? Was this on me the whole time? It's beautiful. It reminds me of
Mhm.
Cass.
As you're looking at it, your hand almost comes up, almost consciously, to reach out to it, and it actually lands on your finger. And as it does, you hear the laughter of children. A breeze that isn't there. It's there for just a beat, and then it's gone.
Did you hear that?
What are you talking about?
For a second, I thought I heard laughter. Like
Mm.
of kids, like of us, like back then, like maybe I'm going crazy.
Well, Even if you are going crazy, it'll help you remember the past, and that's, I think, the only thing that you can do if you want to see this world continue on.
About that, Radicus. You know, I am struggling with it. Do you have any drugs that can induce memory?
As soon as you say that, Missy, you see the blue butterfly take off and go to join the others.
Oh, bye-bye. I give it a kiss goodbye.
I only have ones that make you forget.
I know, and usually those are the ones I take, so, you know, probably got myself into this mess partly. Damn it. Maybe Hessler or Tulio knows something about any sort of potions that can help with memory. Maybe I'll ask them. I'm gonna walk up to the door, peek my head in, and go, "Hey, Hessler, Tulio, do you know of any magic or potions that can help with, you know, lost memories?"
As you're walking up and open the door, you find Tulio like right against it. As you open the door and he's just there.
Oh, hello, Buffy. Are you feeling better?
Oh, yeah. I mean, sort of, kind of. I don't know if I'll ever be better. We'll see. We'll tell. I'm okay. Don't worry.
Julio
I'm trying.
will.
I'm just trying to focus on, you know, the mission.
Julio will reach out and put a hand on your shoulder, like he saw Radicus providing comfort for the physical touch. So Tulio is going to try emulating that.
It's a little slimy.
I
No
go, oh, okay. Thanks for the slime.
Oh, apologies. Tulio will like absorb it back in. A potion or something that could help you retrieve memories, though. Would Tulio know anything about that? Would maybe
Do you have proficiency in herbalism kit?
Do I have it? Herbalism kit? I don't think I took herbalism, did I?
You're an artificer.
Thieves tool, tinkerer's tool, artisan tool, investigator, smith tools, all-purpose tool. No herbalism.
You're an artificer.
However, the all-purpose tool can only turn into artisan tools. The herbalism kit is specifically outside of it.
Yeah, but
Oddly
do you
enough.
get proficiency?
Not in herbalism.
Yeah, that requires an actual proficiency in the actual tool.
I thought that was included with the list.
Yeah, no, he can mimic like all of the other ones, just not herbalism.
Yeah,
I think herbalism. You could even do alchemy. I think herbalism is the only one.
I would if I was trained in any sort of alchemy. I think you have to actually you have to choose it when you actually become an artificer. I'm mostly focused on like blacksmithing, armor smithing, stuff that requires like that kind of hard work, you know?
Yeah.
That physical labor type stuff.
There are a few spells that might help. One that comes to mind is a dreamwalking spell, but that's like mid-tier magic. I don't have any recipes for that written down, formulas as such.
Well, shit. I mean, I appreciate everything you told me. It's useful, but I don't know where we can get anything mid-tier to help with this. And
There might be a local witch in the area. You never know.
How could we find them?
You'd ask around town for one.
Oh.
Might just be rumors depending on the neighborhood. Some places are iffy with spellcasters, especially witches.
Gonna take a little bit from one of the other campaigns. Would Tulio know that helping with memory it's something increasing intelligence would do, and there's probably some things he has that can do that. Like maybe like a
Talking
magical
about
item that
the
could...
enhance ability spell?
No, like a magic item that would help increase her memory or
A
increase her
circlet of intelligence.
Yeah, the circle of intelligence or something like that.
Yeah, those are relatively common for adventures. Now you're gonna make your roll for it.
Excellent.
They're not
Well,
foolproof, but
it's not a foolproof idea, but you could try getting some magical items to help improve your cranial capacity. Probably would help you remember stuff.
That would be cool. But it's not like we can go into town anytime soon unless we're disguised, and even then it's still risky.
Couldn't we... I mean... Couldn't we just send someone who's not in danger of being arrested into the town? Like one of the servants?
I think that's a good idea.
Julio, you
We'd
also
have-
know the only place you'd be able to get items like that is the adventurer's auction or the deep black market.
CC, good question. Like, I mean, I know I'm wandering the garden, like the area right now, but by random chance that I've been potentially in earshot of any of this conversation.
Oh, you'll be walking in here in a second. Evis is leading you. Everest is. But you would know to get into the auctions, you need to be an adventurer, and if you're going for the black markets, you need to know the black markets.
I know, technically speaking, the mind sharpener doesn't say anything about, increasing memory or intelligence or any of that. But it just sounds like something that would be useful in this situation. Just the name alone. Would it be useful? Like,
No, it helps stop things from breaking your concentration. It's effectively stopping ADHD. And it's a charge-based thing.
Fine.
But Radicus, I believe you were walking away, is that correct?
Yes, I was.
You hear a question every 10 seconds from around the corner.
So, where are you from?
I'm from this place called Limbo. It's actually...
What's it like?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it's...
You
So
don't know what
imagine
your
a
home's
place-
like?
It's complicated to describe. I'd say try
Why
to
is that?
imagine some place that's full of chaos, but at the same time orderly. I mean, it's complicated.
So like a parliament of cats?
And Radicus is
Yes,
what you're coming around the corner
let's
to.
go with that.
Sai, you know you can tell her anything. Like, it doesn't have to be real.
But I
I
like
know
real.
that. I know that,
Yeah.
Radicus, but it's good for the child to learn.
Well, you're missing out on a cool pink bandage.
Bandage?
I lift up my arm to show a cutely wrapped bandage. It's for my sunburns, because I've gotten sunburned so many times. I've turned into a piece of charcoal.
Yes, I see. Turns to the girl. Let me guess. You had a hand in this, didn't you?
Of course, I wanted to help. And if they got burns, you need to wrap them.
I'll just give her a pat on the head. Yes, that is definitely something you should do to help with burns. Now, I'm going to cast. Let's see. I'm just rereading Druidcraft real fast. I suppose I'm gonna cast try to cast Druidcraft, be behind my back a little bit, and make the sound of an animal kind of like I guess a cat meow. Go with cat meowing. See if I can make the sound of a cat meowing nearby.
Mr. Flufflekins? Are
Oh,
you in the
no.
well again? Oh no, I'm
No,
coming. And
I
she's
think
gonna
we
run
should
off.
go check on him.
He's off
I'll
to
go
save
turn back to
Mr.
Radicus.
Fluffykins.
Turns out to Radicus. Oh my god, Radicus, you would not believe how much. Don't get me wrong. Children are nice, and it's great for them to learn. But whew, she is nonstop for this entire time out here on my walk. It has been like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, but she would not stop talking. Like, I am patient. I am extremely patient. She's probably one of those few beings that I've met that could actually strain my patience.
Oh,
But she's a good girl. I don't fault her. She's young.
undoubtedly. So I think that you might be ready to. Your mind's probably cleared out now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
By chance, were you talking with the others at all? I thought I might have heard voices off to the side, but I couldn't quite make out what was being said.
Yeah. Missy's going through a tough time, and between you and me, I'm cutting her off cold turkey. So she's got to focus a little bit more on the task at hand, but everything I give her is to forget, and she's now in the need of remembering some things, and I don't think, at least the way that I use any of my substances, is going to be helpful for that. But maybe you might have an idea.
I might be able to help her out. I mean, there are some gifts that meditations that we use to help bring forth memories, or at the very least, calm our emotions. I can maybe I'll try to set some time to talk with her at some point and help her coach her through some of them, and maybe they'll help.
I
If
don't
not,
know
a
what she
little
needs
bit.
about. Oh, good.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, if not, I mean, a little druidic magic might also help. But we'll see what happens with her, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could use what I have, but I just she's gotta be cut off from what she has been using, because that's been blocking what she's been going through. I don't know what she needs with fourth memories though. She needs, formative ages, back when she had a different name.
She had a different name?
I don't ask too many questions, but I learned a little bit more about her past than I would have felt comfortable asking her about right to her face. But her and Cass, I think, were very close, and I think they're going down different paths, and that's painful. And so the memories she's going to be dealing with are painful too.
I see. Well, so do we have a plan of attack, or are we just going to sit on our laurels here at the mansion until we get all so bored that we want to jump into a well? Which I hope Fluffykins is okay. Sorry, I sent her off on a wildcat
Good one.
chase.
That was a good one. I think the plan of attack is try to get Missy to face some hard things. She was in a happier life before this one, I think. And so there's some mourning that has to happen, and also having to get back to her where she was before this.
Let's see. That might take a bit of time. Thankfully, it does seem like we at least have some time. But in the meantime, sorry, Verticus. I mean, so far we seem to be safe at the estate. I mean, but what about restocking? Do we need to go forage for ourselves, or do we need to risk jaunts back to town at all?
I'm not the one to ask. I think Cass will be the one that'll stop any egress.
That makes sense.
But I think it's about to get dark. I think I'm ready to get inside.
At least you can see in the dark, I would hope.
I can only see in the dark.
That seems a bit problematic.
Only sometimes. Only half the day.
What about Tulio? Perhaps he could whip you up some sort of mask or glassware that you could at least cover your eyes with. Maybe that would help.
I pat the goggles that are hanging around my neck. I got these as a gift, and I'm not leaving them.
Fair enough.
Would
Well-
Julio have, would those goggles have been like welding goggles or just regular old safety goggles? Like, would they be tinted?
As you're asking Radicus?
I'm asking Cece.
Okay.
Yeah, they'd be physically tinted.
Okay, just making sure. So it would help with the whole being blind in bright light, right?
It's not that they're blind; it's that he has disadvantage.
But it would help with that.
A little bit.
Excellent. Well, I did that.
Thank you. But yeah, I think I'm ready to head inside.
Alright, well,
While we
Let's,
do that, give us just a few seconds and we'll be right back. Sorry for the wait, ladies and gents. We are back, and I've fixed the things that broke. We continue on with Radicus and Sai.
I mean, at this point, I think we're just kind of heading inside, and everyone was getting ready to go to bed or something.
Where you can see the trio still in the door. Well, the duo. Hessler's still over at the table.
And has Noir been here this entire time as well?
Who?
Noir, the cat.
Yeah, Noir's just been in there, just playing music.
Okay, just chill.
He doesn't speak English, so he's not much help, but he tries. Or common, I guess.
I wonder what languages he does speak.
He speaks cat.
I mean, I can transform into a cat.
Hey, you might understand it. Maybe not. But,
That's cool.
so does anybody have anything that they want to do before heading to bed?
Can I try to pet Noir?
Yeah, Noir doesn't give a fuck. He's just playing music.
So there's a cat that's sitting on a chair playing music.
Yep. He's got a little loop.
I'll just kind of lean into him and go, I don't know if you understand me, but you are probably one of the strangest creatures I've met so far. I just want you to know, you're cute, and I appreciate you.
You see he gives a small purr.
And I'm just going to reach out and try to, like, pet him a little bit.
He is perfectly content with it.
Cool. Well, have a good night, kitty. And I'll turn to head off to the dormitory or whatever we're calling it.
However, after the party does manage to get to sleep, it is 3 long days of nothing. Cassandra's advice is don't go into town. There's going to be riders moving through the city, and we don't want to have our faces seen until after they make it through and have continued on.
Did we manage to identify those items?
You have identified the amulet as a clockwork amulet. You have identified the tankard as a tankard of sobriety. The 3 potions are a potion of fire resistance, a potion of lightning resistance, and a potion of poison resistance. Then the scroll is a major find, being a 5th level spell scroll for the spell Reincarnate. As
Oh.
for the last 2 items, you have found a +1 wand of the War Mage and a set of gloves of thievery. You'll have also managed to identify the gemstones and their cost.
Well, that's a hell of a scroll.
Yeah, right.
There we go.
Do note, since it is a spell scroll, you don't need any items you would need to cast it normally.
Problem though with it being a high level spell level is we'd have to make a spell casting check to cast it from a scroll, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's an Arcana check.
It is.
But you got it.
Wow.
That might come in handy at some point.
Yeah.
These are interesting.
What does the clockwork amulet do? Let me check.
You can cause a roll to be a 10 instead of rolling once per day.
I can't. I'm not sure how useful that is.
You can use it on like
Which-
attacks and saves.
Yeah, that allows you a decent roll, especially if you're doing something you have skills in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could get a 17 in history once a day.
Isn't it only combat though? Because I'm looking at it says combat. Or, wait, did it say combat? Let me check again. Yeah, when you make an
Okay, yeah.
attack roll.
It's just an attack roll.
Yeah, it just
That's
says an attack.
still easy 15 for most things.
Yeah, that's true.
Saves you a portent roll.
Especially if you've got disadvantage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's once a day.
Yep.
Wow. These are cool. The gloves of thievery? I can't believe they go invisible. That's so cool.
Yeah, seeing as we weren't that good at unlocking any doors just a couple days ago, anybody want to give these a try?
You'll have 3 roads you could throw it on.
Yeah, there's
I'm slowly reaching towards them, just like looking at everybody else. It's just like, not going to take them?
no. I mean, you can go for it, Radicus.
Thank you. I'll unstrap the lockpicking kit from my arm and put on the gloves, and then let them see them go invisible, and then put it back on. It's like, not bad.
So, just out of curiosity, can you feel it even though it's invisible? Can you still feel it, or does it like I'm confused on like the physics. I guess it's magic, so it doesn't matter. Never mind.
Yeah, you can still feel the texture of them. It's like he's
Okay.
wearing gloves, but he doesn't see them.
Okay, so it's like camouflage. Like, that's cool.
Yep.
My hands just go completely invisible, and it looks like I have 2 stumps.
Stomp
But I pick-
man. Stomp
That's not
man.
disconcerting at all.
I'm here to beat you with my stumps.
Oh, God.
Anyway, continuing on.
Well, honestly, it's been a long night. There's been a lot of tears and.
This is 3 days later.
No, not long enough.
What would
I'm
you like to
emotional.
do after 3 long days?
I'm exhausted.
Have you not slept?
Well, like, emotionally, not necessarily. Yeah.
In those 3 days, will I have finally managed to get the forge up and running?
Yeah. The next day you would have got it up and running.
So in those days, will I have managed to forge myself something from that piton I was using?
What are you trying to forge out of it?
Just a regular old dagger.
It wouldn't be a dagger. You'd be able to make a dart.
I'm picture like when I picture a piton, I'm thinking like one of those big old like railroad spike type things because I'm thinking like something that would be used to
They're not
ram
that
it in.
big.
Mm-mm.
No?
They're usually about as tall as your average mug.
Hmm.
And it's not the same quality of steel.
Yeah.
Ac- It's actually probably made of iron.
Yeah, that too. So not the best, but you can definitely make a dart out of it.
How many darts would he need to make a dagger?
No, I don't want to go through that right now. We have the crafting thing for that.
I've got 20 that are useless.
But what would the party like to do?
I think we should check in with Cass and see if she's found anything.
Definitely.
Yeah, hopefully she has by now.
Sounds good. That clockwork amulet, I think Tulio would like eye it like covetously because he loves all kinds of gears and clockwork stuff.
Go for it.
Anyone eject him getting the clockwork gear amulet?
Yeah.
Nice.
Clockwork units are handy.
You see Everest as you're walking by. She gives you a big wave.
Hello, Everest.
How are you doing, Missy?
I'm good. And you?
I'm good. I just gotta do some sweeping.
You're doing a good job.
Sweep, sweep, sweep.
Tulio pats this child on the head. He's been learning about showing affection through physical shit.
You know better than to go near her, to pat her specifically, because after the first time you did it, she tried to bite you because she thinks she's made of jello.
Is she eyeing me hungrily right now?
Every time you go near when she's watching the hand, just like, the jello hand, it descends, come to my mouth. Yummy, yummy blueberry jello. Come to me.
Tulio like just like gives them a wide berth in that case, just like watching them. Like he's turning his head for completely 60 to watch this little girl just to make sure they don't bite him.
She's watching. Slowly sweeping.
I'll get you yet, Jello Man.
And you know you're made of acid, so it would be very bad for consuming.
One of these days, I hope that little girl realizes I am not edible.
As y'all come in, Cassandra is pacing back and forth. There are books everywhere, stacks upon stacks upon stacks.
Well, someone's been busy.
She hasn't even noticed y'all have come in the room. She looks frazzled.
Does it look like she slept at all?
Some, but in the last 3 days, maybe a total of 12 hours.
So she would have like 3 levels of exhaustion at this point.
No, she's got
2.
some, but she's definitely not the best situation. But then again, she might also just be stressed out of her mind.
Dulio's gonna go on the table and look at the titles of. Are there titles on the sides of the books, or just?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
I'm gonna take a look at some of them.
Roll me an investigation check.
Alright.
You see there's a bunch of books, names of places, some languages you don't understand. There's a lot of oddities to these books.
Julio's looking at those. Hessler's going to try to catch hold of Cassandra as she paces back. Cassandra, you find anything?
No. No, I have not. I've been researching as much as I can, but I'm missing something. I don't know what.
Why don't you want to go back there in your own memories?
What do you mean?
Well, it's connected to your past. Why not on a personal level?
I don't know. I can't remember enough to know what really happened.
You at least know maybe where?
No. Nothing in
even
my
a general
notes nor
guess?
Missy's. Something's missing. It's as if part of my mind is actively fighting against me, keeping the information I'm looking for out of the way. I can feel it, I can see it, but it keeps slipping through like grains of sand.
Like a repressed memory.
No, if it was just repressed, I'd be able to get a hold of it. At least the edge of it. And have a better idea of what I'm dealing with. This is more. It's almost as if the memory has been erased.
Oh. Out of character, do I feel anything like that when I try to remember?
You just can't get a hold of anything.
Yeah, because everything just got flipped.
Your years of drug abuse and have caught up with you.
It's the
Yeah.
difference between Miss E's 10 intelligence versus Cassandra's 18.
Dang, okay. So, is there... Can anyone help guide you? Or, like, anyone... Is there a magic person who can, I don't know, do something?
Oh. If it is a memory of loss, perhaps there is a way to assist. You hear from Alistair in the back.
Wow.
Well, there is always a visit to the memory pool.
Where?
Here within the city of Mossmere.
What's the memory pool do? Just bring back all your memories?
It has a mild memory enhancing effect when the waters are mixed with silver night, I think. Perhaps it would be better to get a draft from Benefactor. I suppose. You see Cassandra is scratching her chin. Thoughts bubbling everywhere in her mind.
So, do we both need to go into the pool or just me?
The pool's not all that important, it's the waters. And it's usually taken as a draft.
So we need to sneak in and get some water?
No. If we were looking for just the draft, we could just go talk to Fennec.
Oh, right.
We can brew a potion of recollection. That may be one of our only chances.
How much would that cost?
I don't know. Would you be able to head to the potion flask? I got a note yesterday that the Waterdeep guards have already moved through the area. They passed through Mossmere and shouldn't be back for a good while.
Definitely. I think we should get on this soon.
And you should be good to go. The city will be safe for now.
All right. Guess we should just get ready to head out.
I'll remain here, see if I can figure anything out on my own. If you need me, feel free to come and get me.
Thank you.
Cassandra goes back to pacing, her mind focused on breaking the barriers that it itself seems to have put up.
Don't wear yourself out fighting too hard. We'll get the potion. I'll help, and we'll figure this out together.
I don't think she's going to be able to hear you at the moment. You hear from Alistair. When she gets in a study tizzy like this, she tends to lose focus on everything else.
Ah, the age-old academic fugue.
I get the same way with a particularly interesting craft.
So would now be a bad time to suggest that I could maybe try to help her, at least focus her mind, stay here and teach her some meditations, see if that might help?
She has been very well trained by the Academy in meditations.
So probably similar level than me then.
I would expect as much. You may be better suited to going with your group to talk to Fenrir.
So can you tell us about this Fennec then?
He is a rather eccentric individual. He runs the potion flask. A little scatterbrained, and I wouldn't test any of the free potions if possible. If you wish to risk it, he is not liable for anything that may or may not happen to you. But if you need any other type of potion, Fennec is the one you need to speak to.
Alright, sounds like quite the sea adventure then.
He turns to look at Hessler and Tulio. If you are still looking to talk to Lucian, he is still in the city.
Might be
Great.
good to talk to him first, then we can get potions as well.
Of course, you should be in the Willow Hall Inn.
Great. I shall go gather up the materials for selling.
Then be swift and be careful.
Assuming we left everything on the table.
By this point, it would have been neatly put back up in y'all's room, so it's easy enough to get back to.
I have no idea where my room would even be, but
Yeah, y'all have it. It's good. It's on a
Okay.
different floor, and I don't want to change maps.
Gio comes back just holding a big old hobo bindle full of clinking, clattering gems and stuff. But well, I'm ready to go.
Me too.
Well, no better time in the morning.
So, will y'all be heading out, or y'all going to go look for the Wanderbrush siblings? Or Noir, for that matter.
I mean, I could do decent. It can track decently. I mean, depending on if you folks want to split up a little bit, I could at least temporarily go off and look for them. But if things aren't panning out, or if I run into any bit of trouble, I can hightail it and meet you back in the city.
Do note those three should be somewhere within the manor.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's easier to find them.
I bet Talia's probably pretty pent up, and it might be good to take her out for a walk.
You've actually seen her a couple times just napping.
That's a first.
Would Tulio know where they are after? Because I'm assuming, based on where they are in the map right now, I probably passed by their where they're staying.
Oh yeah, they're staying in the
Multiple
guest house. They've just been over there with Noir. Noir has a habit of disappearing from time to time, but
We might as well get them. I believe they're in the guest house right now.
Yeah, let's grab them and head out. How far out of character? How far away is this place we're going to?
the guest house or the city?
No, the city.
Half an hour.
Okay.
Y'all are just outside the city.
Okay.
We're slowly watching Tulio go across the map. He's on an adventure. Do up.
Tulio will knock on the door. Splat, splat, splat.
And you see Eric opens it up. Hey, been a while since we've seen you all. Everything all right?
Ah, good morning, Eric. Is your sister around?
You hear snoring in the back.
Ah, that is a valid question. We are going into the city. Would you two like to accompany us?
Sure. You haven't really been up to much. He walks
Excellent.
over and kicks the chair in which Tally is in. She jolts awake. Come on, Sleeps. Time to get some work done. About time. We've been wandering. We've been sitting here for way too long. It was a nice nap, though.
Well, you seem well rested.
Of course. We've been sleeping since we bloody got here. You see she scoops up her blade and rushes outside, going straight through your jello.
I mean, I'm wearing clothes.
Yeah, she's also tiny. She don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, aren't they?
They're both halflings.
Yeah, so they would have that thing where they can just run right past people, no problem. Or is that gnomes?
No, that's halflings.
Okay, just making sure.
Underfoot.
You see Eric goes over, scoops up his quiver, bag, and weapons, and starts strapping them on.
Meet you. I guess we'll meet you at the front gate.
I'll catch up.
And Tulio starts wandering back.
As you're going by, you see her again.
Where?
Yellow girl.
Tulio walks past, but is trying to walk further away.
She's
Watching.
watching you the whole time.
Little girl, I am not edible.
Everything's edible if you're brave enough.
I would melt your tongue and teeth.
Those are the best kind of candies.
And inside, I'm made of acid.
My brother does those.
Atlas, run along, child. Do not bother Tulio.
She sticks her tongue out at Tulio before going back to sleeping.
I don't know why she wants to eat me.
I mean, in her defense, she's a small child, and I guess your plasma does kind of look like candy in a way, I guess.
You do. You look very edible.
I wonder if there's a way I can make myself look less edible.
You could dye yourself a disgusting color.
Oh,
Hmm.
that probably won't help. Children don't tend to care about the color that much. They just care about the taste.
Yeah, but
You
he'll
could
still
wear a
always look
vegetable
delicious.
costume.
Vegetable's good.
I could fill my body with broccoli.
You'll manage to come to the gate in which you see Talia waiting at the gate itself.
Yeah.
About time you got here. I thought you'd be beating me. You people are slow, despite how long your bloody legs are.
Well, we get a little distracted by that little girl.
She rolls her eyes. Come on.
As she pushes open the gate and leads you all down the long road back to Mossmere. Is there anything you would like to do along the way?
Along the way to Mossmere or through Mossmere?
To Mossmere. Still about 30 minutes out.
I guess it does have to, take in the scenery and trying to get used to the surrounding areas.
I'll just hum a tune.
Helio's gonna grab random leaves and foliage and try to like put them into his body to make himself look like he's full of vegetation or vegetables.
Problem is they keep dissolving.
Mm.
Minerals usually take longer to dissolve than organics.
I wonder if I can forge metal leaves or metal vegetables.
You could just fill yourself with caltrops. That might do it.
Yes, but then if she eventually does try to bite me, it might hurt her even worse.
Good point.
That's why their parents always have to check Halloween candy.
What is Halloween?
It's a weird little thing they do in the city. All the kids running around at night. Very unsafe.
But it doesn't take y'all long before, at just inside the edge of the forest, you see the small, serene village. It's mostly surrounded by misty forest, and in the middle of it runs this beautiful, glistening river. Even from where you're seeing it, looks like a nice, calm place, almost enchanting, as there's this strange glow to it as you look. Not the glow of lights or anything, but something else, some kind of magic. As you start to walk into the city itself, you are completely absorbed within the earthy scents that permeate this town, this village, with a number of herb fields and greenhouses being the most common outside of the homes and businesses. Even those always tend to have a little glass area up above in which it looks like people care for plants.
Mm-hmm. This place looks like a druid's dream.
If only we had something this extravagant in the Astral Sea when I was training. For us, well, we just had open gardens surrounded by nothingness. But to be fair, though, the Astral Sea does have its beauties, so each in a way is their own Magical mystery.
I wouldn't know. Never been.
Trust me. The place can be a bit scary, but serene. I did enjoy my time there.
My progenitors did tell me good things though.
Progenitors? I assume you mean your parents?
The plasmoids that I am derived from, yes.
Just checking to make sure you weren't like magically grown in a test tube or something.
No, I was grown inside them and then expelled.
I will dwell on that thought later.
Where's the party heading first? The inn, the pool, or the potion plant?
I think Willow Hall, and we'll sell off most of our stuff. Then we'll hit the potions.
Could we, after selling the stuff, first find a magic shop so I can finally buy a bag of holding?
There probably is. The city probably isn't big enough for a bag. Magic shop.
Damn.
I need to acquire a proper herbalism kit. I only have bits and pieces. The druids there trained me in how to use it properly, but they neglected to actually give one to me, so I'd like to procure one while we're here, seeing as how it looks like this place I'm sure has some only the finest of instruments with which to, clip plants and properly store them.
Fine topiary.
That's what I'm looking for.
Fair enough. But it doesn't take long before y'all to find a Willow. Willow Hall. There it is. Completely blank for a second there. It doesn't take you long to find a Willow Hall, a beautiful wooden building with these white matte walls, which are absolutely coated in vines and other growing mosses and whatnot. The entire top of it is completely green. As you walk in, it seems not too many people are here at the moment. Just a couple of what looks like travelers that spent the night are currently eating breakfast before moving on and getting back on the road. Nobody of real note except the guy standing behind the bar. It is a single man, tall, about in his 40s, with this kind of natural brown hair, which almost reminds you of the woods around him, and he's got this bright smile. Well, don't think I've seen you before. You! Oh, where's my manners? My name's Dusty. Welcome to Willow Hall.
Good to meet you, Dusty.
Now, what can I do for you? Looking for rooms? I wouldn't have expected anybody to get here this early in the morning. But we do get all-night travelers, I suppose.
No, not rooms. We are well acquainted. We are well acquainted for dormitories. We are looking for a specific person.
And who's that?
What was the guy's name again?
Lucian.
Lucian.
Ah, looking to get something sold, are you?
Quite right.
Lucian's still asleep, but he shouldn't be asleep too much longer. He should be here within the hour. Can I interest you in breakfast while you're here?
Did we eat breakfast before we left, or no?
I would hope so.
It's up to y'all, I don't know. It would
Might
have
as
been
well eat
offered.
I definitely, if it was offered, I definitely would have ate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. No, I think I'm fine. Everyone else good?
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, I'm assuming this town probably doesn't have a magic shop, but do you happen to know of anyone who's selling a bag of holding? Would you?
Not around here, no. You need to go to Waterdeep for that.
Uh, it was worth a try.
Sorry about that. We don't have a need for a lot of magic items out here.
Actually, out of character, would anyone be opposed to Julio attempting to sell the tankard of sobriety to this guy? I mean, I can't think of any reason we would need it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
We'll find a reason 5 months later. It's fine.
5 months later, we'll be just starting big challenge to a drinking contest or something.
Yeah, I'm not opposed.
If we do, just use Julio. For God's, he is resistant to poisoning. I don't think it's really hard for him to get drunk.
Nice.
Oh,
I think
there's
it's fine.
alcohol specifically meant to punch through that.
Oh.
boy.
Because the dwarves also have resistance to poison and they love to drink.
Shit. What if we
Good
need
old
it?
dwarven stouts.
True. So that's a no on trying to sell the tanker to this guy. I mean, he owns a bar. I would assume he would want something like this.
I'm not opposed. I just think it would be funny that we'll find a use for it much later. But at this point, I don't think that it's a big deal.
That's one vote for selling it. For selling it. What else?
Yeah, my vote's to try to sell it, sure.
Go
Alright.
for it.
Speaking of magical items, you as a bartender, you probably have patrons who can't hold their liquor very well, but still enjoy the flavors of various fine wines and whiskeys, right?
I suppose.
That or somebody
We don't
needs
have
cut
too many
off.
heavy drinkers here. We get a couple winers, but herbal teas are the rage around here.
But for those who actually are pretty alcohol adept, I have something that we found recently that I think we might be interested in.
What's that?
Will reach into his bag and pull out the tankard of sobriety and place it on the bar's counter with the practice motion of a merchant presenting his wares. The tankard of sobriety. Any alcoholic beverage in here will be rendered inert, allowing whoever drinks from it to just enjoy the flavors, not having to deal with any hangovers or feelings of sickness afterwards.
How much are you looking for it?
How much is a tankard of sobriety? Like, just I know it's a common item.
Magic item, so 50 to 100.
I'm gonna attempt to persuade this guy to buy it for in the middle of about 75.
Roll persuasion.
Do I get advantage because I'm a merchant?
No.
Okay.
You're just actually able to do this and have the stuff for it.
All right. Persuasion. Come on. Maybe I should have put more to push your charisma, but here we go. Nope. He doesn't want. I'm sure he doesn't want.
We really don't have much need for it right here. As I said, main thing we sell is teas. Everybody's interested. The people that are drinking with alcohol usually don't drink all that much. I've actually had my wine cellars go pretty full for a while. So if you're interested in buying a drink, I give you some of them for half off.
I think we're going to be waiting for a bit. If you have a good red.
Well, I do have some interesting wines that we picked up. That's what you're looking for. Mostly the meads and ales that have been sitting for a while.
I mean, I could go for decent mead.
I mean, seems kind of early to be drinking, don't you guys think?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Tulio.
But we've got common wines, we've got some fine wines, and I think I've got a bottle or two of some fine elven wines if you're interested.
Ooh, I don't know if I can resist that. But I don't want to interfere with the potion and stuff.
Well, you won't have to worry about that with the elven wines. They're the only ones that would be able to, as they're generally considered magical. And they help increase your health. Help detox the body and remove the... I don't remember what they said, but it is very helpful with keeping your body at the best.
Well, if we can afford it, I'd like some of that.
Because
Also, if you're
we have
so
to import it from Evermeet, I can give it to you for 25 gold pieces a cup.
Whew, that is a bit steep.
Oh, that's deep.
Yes,
But like,
yes it is, but it is the finest of elven wines. The wine makers that I got this from have been part of a family of elves that have been making wine for the last 4,000 years. The current head has been doing it for about 600.
That is a good bit of time. Do they source from vineyards in the area, or?
No, comes from Evermeet itself.
you know what?
Land of the elves.
If it helps my health and it maybe even enhances what I'm about to do, fuck it. I'll take 25 out of my own pocket and just pay for a glass.
He takes out a wonderfully crafted wooden wine glass and pours it. Or no, it is a wooden cup, but he pours it from a beautifully made wine bottle, and he fills it up with this beautiful swirling purple and red wine. And then he hands it over to you after accepting the 25 gold pieces.
Thank you. Fine dining, indeed.
I think I'll join you in that. I was expecting a white from Elvish, but to be nice.
Tastes even better.
He pours you
Heads are all
as well,
paid 25 as well.
and you both taste this rich, rich wine, which almost seems to have a story to it as it moves through the taste as you drink more and more through the cup, going from this kind of soft taste, which seems to tantalize you, wanting more, as more and more of the drink, as you get deeper and deeper into the cup, it starts to morph through multitudes of different tastes and experiences. It's almost as if you are hearing one of the elven stories told to you through your tongue.
Well, damn, this right here, this isn't just a drink. This is a whole damn experience. I understand the price.
Yes, well, nobody makes wine like the elves.
You're telling me? Good lord, how much is a whole bottle?
About 200 gold pieces.
Woo! Dang. I
Nothing
need to
divided.
find some friends who make this.
Well, unfortunately, the makers are all in Evermeet as far as I know. At least they're one of the last standing places with the great elven makers still there. With the loss of some of the old ancient cities, well, and now that they're heading to the west, it's becoming rarer and rarer to find ones like this. And of course, we have our own, but we're not the elves. Hundreds of years of doing nothing but making wine. The things you'd learn.
I'm sure it must be nice for them.
I mean, it's quite the luxurious treat, isn't it, though? I'm savoring it.
If you would like, I can offer you 2 specialties we do here in Willow Hall.
What would that be?
The Willow Hall wine and a dream drop. He takes out another bottle of wine from under the bar and shows it to you. The bottom of the base of the bottle pointed out for you, the tip of her up near his elbow. This was made here in the city, or in the village. We make it with a number of different herbs, so it has a mild healing ability. It helps chase off disease and illnesses, as well as increases your natural healing abilities.
Impressive. But how much?
A simple 10 gold per bottle.
Ooh.
I could split it with you, Missy, if you want.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll toss in my half.
And I can chip in 5 gold for this.
He will hand it over to you. Now, make sure to take care of it. I'd hate to see it wasted. The good people here in town worked rather hard to make sure it was the best possible quality we could make. He actually says one more thing. If you turn it over on the bottom, when you turn over the bottle, you see worked into the very base of the wine bottle where his hand was, there is a rune worked into the glass itself. It will help it preserve for ages. It also helps it to age.
Ooh.
Once it
Does it get
reaches,
stronger?
it will. It's not super alcoholic, but it does become richer in taste as time passes. And once it reaches its peak, well, the rune helps to stabilize it and keep it in the perfect drinking condition for as long as able.
Well, we'll be sure to hold on to this.
I'm glad. And if you're ever looking for more, feel free to come back. We're making it very often, so we always have a good bit.
I have a question.
Yes.
The magical abilities, does that come from the stream that runs through here?
No, it's from the herbs that were chosen, as I understand it.
I see.
But as for exactly how it's made, you'd have to talk to the winery. But I think they're currently on vacation at the moment, so it might be a while before they return. How's the rest of the party doing?
I was just about to turn to him and say, thank you very much for letting us have all this luxurious wine and having some of what you specially brewed here. Is it time we best be heading? I'm gonna turn and look at everybody and Just openly ask.
We are waiting for someone to wake up.
Yes, Lucian.
Ah, fuck me. Of course. Already forgot. Jesus.
Should have had
Did
that
someone say
tankard.
my name? As you all look over to see a beautifully dressed, blonde-haired man coming down the stairs. He is the closest thing to a noble you'll have seen. Fine jacket, a tall, commanding presence, and a soft, quirky smile.
I'm gonna turn to Misty and in Thieves' Can be like, do not chop off this man's balls.
You hear him respond in Thieves' Cant as they're talking about the weather to everybody else. I would very much hope that she would not. As he still has that grin as he walks right up to the group. Lucian
Ray.
Greentide. It's a pleasure to meet you. I imagine you're looking to buy or sell something.
Selling mostly. We have a bit to buy if you have stuff.
Ah, interesting. And is this from the most recent archaeological dig you've been at, Mr. Kalitsa?
I see. I'm with representation here. And possibly.
Or perhaps you went on another expedition with Mr. Grishka?
I see that items are not the only thing that you trade in. Obviously, information is also there.
Of course, knowing whoever I can is always important, especially when they come into our town. Cassandra, the lady, tends to be rather quiet and keeps to herself in the last year or so. So it's good to see his eyes land on Miss E again. You see he trails off for a moment. It's good to see she has company.
What do you mean by that?
As I said, it has been some time since she's had people here. So it's good to see her with guests.
Would Tulio have caught that look and made me think that maybe that this guy recognizes Miss E in more than just knowing that she's part of our group and is living at the mansion right now?
That looked more like, this individual looks interesting kind of look. As for anything beyond that, you wouldn't be able to tell. But then again, Miss E is very interesting to look at, shall we say.
I mean, what's not to look at?
Fair point.
Well, should we find a table and make some business?
Yes, I think we shall. Will you all be joining, or will you be splitting up? I know you adventurers are always busy.
It's up to the
I'm
others.
gonna stick around.
Yes, there's a golden unspoken rule in the Adventurers Guild that I feel like everyone should always pay attention to. You'll never split the party.
You never split the party. I actually had a bard come through recently that sung a song about that. It was rather nice. Something about rogues running off, though. But there's business to attend to, my friends, and I intend to make you much richer people if I am able. And your price is right. Now sit and drink. We have much to do. As he is going to wave his hand, and all of the chairs around one of the table suddenly pull themselves out and all have really cushy cushions on them now.
Pulls out diary, makes note. Learn how to do that.
And is anybody leaving, or is everybody joining Lucian around the table?
I guess I'll sit down and join them.
Yeah,
I-
I'm joining.
Yep.
I sit directly across from Lucian.
Then you all spend a good while in negotiations. But as that tends to be kind of boring to listen to, I think for this time, this is where we're going to be ending it. So I thank you to my players for joining in and putting on a good show tonight. And for our listeners, I thank you as well for joining us. And I hope you are back next time to see just how much trouble this party is really in. Have a good night, y'all.